Travis Wayne Goodsell, 11:45. I was working on the thumbnail picture, and here I am. So I decided to try to record the video, but I'm being cyber terrorized on my mouse, on Word, on my files, on the computer, with the camera. Mormons know the church is so true that it's okay for them to commit crimes, to deny religious freedom to others. I am a Mormon, born and raised in the covenant, so I studied my scriptures, learned about Joseph Smith, learned about the Book of Mormon, and became the foremost anthropologist of the ancient Middle East, having deciphered Paleo-Hebrew as my accomplishment. And that has led me to recognize that I've got a lot of work ahead of me to fix all of the errors of those who claim to be professionals. And this is why the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints seeks to shut me up, and even if murder, so they can erase me from history. And it's an obvious reason, and so those who are viewing, if you don't understand why, as a translator, the living prophets of Jesus are so threatened by me that they have to commit crimes to shut me up and murder me, why are you a Mormon? Even in the singles ward, when I tried to impress the girls with, I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. So how much does that pay? Well, it's $2,000 to publish. You want to front me? If we get married, then you get everything. We share. We share. No, we have to have separate accounts. Money destroys marriages, destroys relationships, destroys happiness. Nonetheless, I was told you can't. What do you mean I can't? I did. I used science. Got 3 confirmations. I used Paleo-Greek, Egyptian, and Chinese to confirm. And I didn't stop there. I kept going. Because after deciphering the script, I then went and ran a 4th test in the vocabulary. And I didn't stop there. I kept going with Paleo-Greek to compare their vocabulary. And I didn't stop there. Went with translation, running the test. And bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, Joseph Smith is true. From the King Follett sermon. And this is why the church wants me shut up and assassinated. They're not even claiming the mantle title, now I get excited, of translator. Did you guys not catch this? I kept repeating in all my videos, and then I even did a special video the other weekend of solemn assemblies and sustaining votes. Repeated over and 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 over. We deny the gifts and powers of translator. which means they're false. So now that you know that they're false, you have to check them on everything, because it means they're lying about other stuff too. And when you realize, oh crap, we're not even supposed to be Christian, that Joseph Smith is furious with Christianity, wants nothing to do with it, and that the Book of Mormon condemns Christianity before it's even created, if you're going to call it literal history, which is what Christians did to the Jews. God. It is so obvious, and this church keeps lying. It's evil lies. Like my childhood, born-again, Christian, white supremacist childhood peers. These are old men. They're supposed to be religious leaders, and they're not. It's a criminal operation. They're not even a religion. They lie. You know, at least Tony Soprano on The Sopranos had a sanitation company that was legitimate as his front. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints isn't even a church. They're actually covering up for the front, which is a corporation of an illegal entity that was shut down by the United States of America. I mean, how messed up is that for everybody not to catch it, not to shut this criminal operation down again? What the hell do you think you're doing? You shut down immediately, or we'll do it for you. Dear God, it's just pure evil that Mormons are so easily gullibly conned. They have the inverted pentagram of Lucifer, and Mormons still thank thee, O God, for a living prophet of Jesus, of Christianity, the one and only true Christianity. And it's bad enough that I see women who have struggled for millennia to be treated as human, to be treated as equal, and to have the soccer team for America finally get paid what they deserve. And then trans come in, step aside, women, we're taking over. We're beating the hell out of you to be equal, and equal? You're taking over. And women are just supposed to shut up and take it? Like they have from abusive men for millennia? Dear God. Psychologists have really done a number on everybody. And yep, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, Mormons don't know what a gift and power of God, seer, prophet, revelator, translator. I can understand if you don't catch that it's an acronym. That's petty in regards to, hey, look, inverted pentagram. Hey, look, no translator. But, and even if you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, Mormons still are saying, well, you know, that, you know, it's still true. No, it isn't. Just the one nullifies the whole church, because that's what they say. And so they call Joseph Smith's visions literal histories, but Joseph Smith is a seer. Well, seer is visions, and you call them literal histories? when it's clear from scriptures that no, visions are not literal histories. And you believe the living prophets and deny what's obvious in print? That is disturbing on the level of my childhood peers. You know, it's one thing for those childhood peers because they're gone. They're out of my life. I moved on. And that was the whole thing that got me through that. Is I'm taking off. You know, this isn't going to be a permanent thing. I'm not going to be stuck here in Southern California. And if I am, I'll just find a Blockbuster in another town. Get an apartment. Live the rest of my life alone. Watching movies on VHS. So glad I didn't. But there are times I wish I still had that option. Like right now, Mormons, pissing me off. Mormons don't know what a real seer, prophet, revelator, translator is. They have it. They got the scriptures to see what it should be. But Joseph Smith is dead, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints lies about him. So Mormons don't know. So I do my video content, and nobody understands. Mormons think I'm an apostate, and apostates think I'm a Mormon. I'm sore. Maybe I will finish and I can go running, and then crash for the rest of the day. But I want to get this out before the Thursday meeting. If Oaks is still in town. Having his birthday on Monday, that's questionable. And I've learned, because I just remembered again, he's got a hip replacement. Aren't hip replacements metal? Isn't it going to set off the airport metal detector? Yep. Yes, it will. A 94-year-old man with a hip replacement who's near death, and oh my hell, Oaks. I've already shown the pretty pictures. I warned you in advance. And oh my hell. And this time, there is no mercy for you. I tried to warn you. I warned Nelson, but it only took 3 dreams. For Oaks, it took 2 sets of 4. And then your birthday hit like a hurricane. Thunderstruck. Oh my hell. And so yeah, this is what we're going over here. Because, I mean, you can read them, but people don't read apparently. And they don't like listening to me either. Dear God. What the hell, guys? I just... Mormons are defiant to just prove me null and void. And you can't. You're not getting it. You cyber terrorize me, you try to murder me, and you just don't get it. I'm just the warning voice. And I put out the warning. And it happened. The signs, anyway. Dear God, Mormons. You know, you guys ignored all of the ones from 2017 into 2018. And then you ignored the ones in 2020, 2021. And you ignored the one in 2023. You ignored them in 2024. And then 2025. And here we are in 2026. And I told you at the beginning of 2025, when it seemed like it was just all the time, that I told you this is going to be big. And here we are in 2026 for his birthday. It was not just big, it was massive. This is earth-shakingly crushing for Oaks. I understand why he's trying to flee the country now. But all he has to do, that's all I told him. You have an exemption from me. Exclusively, Oaks. Just sign it over. It's in your articles of incorporation that you had Nelson sign. You added stuff, and that addition, which, put that picture up, right? Yeah. Is what you had. This is your escape clause. This is your exemption clause. You could have avoided all this. And you chose not to. And here you are, fleeing. Article number 6. Starting to rain. Starting to rain. I just... at midnight. Now we got the windows of heaven. Oh my God, Oaks. What the hell, man? Upon the winding up and disillusion. He even organized it to have the titles for each of the articles. Winding up and disillusion. Yeah, Mormons. The church is planning on quitting, taking the money and run. They didn't tell you? I've been trying to tell you. It was Harold B. Lee who first put it in. 1973. Upon the winding up and dissolution of the corporation. Notice how it's not the church? And so, the remaining assets of the corporation shall be distributed in accordance with. That's why I did the lines and stuff for you. In accordance with the revelations, rites, practices, and polity of the church. So what are the revelations regarding who's the head of the church? Because the incumbent, as determined by the incumbent, to be distributed as determined by the incumbent. That's Oaks. In accordance with the revelations. So OAKS is saying, when we decide to quit, OAKS, will distribute the remaining assets in accordance with the revelations. And I told him, this is all you need to do, because you're the one who said you're going to do it. I'm not threatening. You're the one who's threatening. It's your words that you added. These bunch of little pansy bullies get so sensitive when people call out the bullies. It's what you said. Were you expecting me to go? Well, same to you, infinity. What sticks to you sticks to me. Rubber and glue or whatever. And so, yes, I've been going over with you guys repeatedly. And OAKS knows all of this. He knows all my content. The Strengthening Church Members Committee. They have people assigned to download my video content so that they don't click on the video to make a view. There were some problems in the beginning. The YouTube Mormon employee had to counsel them. So, yes, they download it because they've got to have a file of all of my stuff. And so it's a digital file rather than the paper file 36434 that I have already. And so the digital file will match the paper file. And they've most likely digitized the paper stuff, and they probably still keep the paper stuff because they don't want to throw it away. But they have the digital file 36434 now. And then those employees or volunteers, special church service missionaries, because the church is cheap that way. But regardless of whether they get paid or not, it's a secret thing. And they can't tell you what they do as a job. So therefore you know who they are. And they then have to watch my whole video content from beginning to end. And they have to take notes and submit a report to the supervisor. And then the supervisor submits all the reports to the committee, which contains one token apostle, and I think it's Stevenson. I thought it would be Cook because he's a lawyer, but after April conference, I'm not so sure. And then a couple of members from the First Quorum of 70 presidency. First Quorum. 70 presidency. And some extras from the General 70. This has already been leaked. You know, they found out that D. Todd Christofferson was the token apostle when he joined. And then they had the listing of the others. That's how I know. And so OAKS then was able to go back and do other assignments because D. Todd replaced him. Because OAKS came out in 1993 saying, yeah, I'm in charge of it, or I'm a part of it. And it's possible they may have had several apostles involved previously, and then over time they change it so that it's more delegated to the general 70. Requires leakers. But Oakes was the one who came out in the Deseret News in 1993 in October to say why they did what they did to the September 6th. Yeah, that's activation. Fired and excommunicated to activate them. Yeah, this is not a good people. This is very evil people who commit crimes, threaten you to do what they want, and say, you have free agency, do it now. I was chased out of the church by the bishop, who was told by the Strengthening Church Members Committee. Got a call from church headquarters. That's the big clue. Saying that you've got a video about 2 Nephi chapter 2 about Adam fell, and it's going against the living prophets of Jesus. Really? The Book of Mormon is going against the living prophets of Jesus, huh? And so I'm being told I have to take it down. Shut up, Travis. Or why do I bother coming to church? Good point. I will not be threatened and extorted to deny the truth. I will not lose my honor and integrity. No matter what you've already done to me back in 2008, which can never be repaid. Oakes. That was during the transfer time of Oakes to D. Todd. So I know Oakes was mentoring D. Todd, since he knew about the previous stuff concerning me. They have restitution damages that also need to apply here. That's all I'm asking for, to get the full repayment for restitution. All you have to do is sign. I don't care if it's an auto pen, as long as it qualifies. You guys have no problem with auto pen when Monson was on his deathbed. So, find the other stuff. We really need to burn AI to the ground. I tried warning everybody. Nobody's listening. It's getting to be too late. Even warned YouTube. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, the church set a trap for you, and now you're doomed. So, section 107. This is according to the revelations for the leadership of the church. The whole section, Joseph Smith goes over leadership, how it's organized. It's the order of the church. And so, in verses 2 through 4 and verse 53 is the name of the Christ, the order of Emmanuel. What? Travis, it says to avoid the too frequent repetition of the name of the Son of God, they called the church Melchizedek, or the priesthood Melchizedek priesthood. So what's the name? Is it Jesus that we frequently repeat? Out of reverence and respect? Verse 53. Can you catch it? Are you not familiar with foreign languages and ancient languages that don't have vowels? We believe the Bible to be the Word of God as far as it is translated correctly. And did you ever pay attention to the spelling in Isaiah versus Matthew? Which version does the Book of Mormon use? Matthew or Isaiah? Amen. Son Amen in section 78 and 95, 93 or something like that. I think it's 95. I can look it up. Could be. I don't think it's 98 because I think 89 I think is tithing. So 98 would be on. 95, yeah. The forgiveness versus restitution. Mormons screw it all up. Son Amen. Where do we get Amen from? Adamandai Amen. That is the name of our Christ. That is my last name, because the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith correct the mistranslation of Christians in the Bible. It's not God with us. That's why Matthew is not plagiarized in the Book of Mormon. Isaiah is. And so, verse 9 of 1 Nephi chapter 1. Who gives Lehi the book in his vision? Sun God at noonday, huh? Oh, look, they footnote it to the first and second visions. Sun God at noonday. Sun God at noonday. Huh. Wonder what that is for. Verse 2. Learning of the Jews, language of the Egyptians. Oh, is it modern Jews? Really? Are you really that stupid? Verse 4. The first year of the reign of who? King of who? From who? It's when Babylon took over and put Zedekiah on the throne. So therefore it's pre-Babylonian captivity, Jewish Egyptians. There's just certain things that are so obviously simple that for Mormons to not catch it, inverted pentagram, Lucifer, hello. Pure doctrine of Lucifer taught in the temple, hello. Other stuff, yeah, I can see how you missed it. I missed it too. But you're supposed to learn line upon line, precept upon precept. See, because if I had believed Tom Jones and went back crying to Mommy, Tom said that we have inverted pentagrams on the keystones of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple, then my mom would go, oh crap, he knows. It's the symbol of Jesus' condescending nature in the latter days when he comes for his second coming. But Isaiah... And so, the literal descent for the birthright and blessing of the head of the church from King David. Because remember, Christians are evil too. So Matthew is not translated correctly. Joseph Smith corrects this. Nobody catches on because everybody thinks the Book of Mormon is literal history too. First Creed, guys, come on. I knew we weren't Christian when I first read it. Oh, Christianity is all wrong, all abominable, and all corrupt. I didn't know what the creed said. I just know what Joseph said. Joseph Smith said, Christianity is all wrong, all abominable, all corrupt. They deny the gifts and powers of the Spirit of God. Then he gives you an example of a Methodist preacher who denies the gifts and powers of the Spirit of God, turning everything literal history. All ceased with the deaths of the apostles. They're not real, they were visions. You're denying the gifts and powers of the Spirit of God. Why is this complicated for Mormons? Why do you run away? You can't handle the truth. And so, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham? No. The book of the seed egg babies of Isaiah's Messiah ben David. And so Jesus Christ, without son of David, is the Christ of Isaiah. Or I can say Joshua. It's also the same name. Got to translate this correctly. And so, Emmanuel, I've been throwing you some extra fun stuff that I exclusively know because I'm the anthropologist of the ancient Middle East who deciphered Paleo-Hebrew and have to correct Egyptian now. God, Sir Alan Gardner. And even, Daniel Jackson was right about Budge. But at least Budge had more signs in his sign list. Gardner. My hell. But I still gotta fix his too. I gotta fix it all. You're not using the science. Sir Alan Gardner was the one who told William Foxwell Albright on deciphering the proto-Sinaitic, just use the acronym theory. You can't do that. You can't start with a conclusion and then only make the premises fit the conclusion. No. What are you doing? Stop. And so, yes, proto-Sinaitic is further back in time by over 1,000 years. It's nowhere near the first. It was way up in the Ptolemaic period time, where the Ptolemaic leaders had the slaves working in the mines and the caves, and they were the ones who wrote the Hathor thing, and Hathor was the god they worshipped in the Ptolemaic period. Why is it complicated? Why do you guys deny science when you're in the field? Ronald McDonald K. Jr.'s all over the place in history. Get him out! So yes, Goodsell is God's soul from the British Druids prior to Constantine. So they're the ones that the one guy went and interviewed, and they told him about St. Patrick. And obviously it's not about St. Patrick, because St. Patrick couldn't have chased out the snakes from Ireland, because the snakes were already chased out of Ireland 300 years previously. And they knew this. They're talking about their future progeny, who is going to be a man like Moses, the big Jewish Christ. Deuteronomy 18:15-19. Deuteronomy is the law of the Jews. You don't violate the law. So when the Jesus character, the Christ of Isaiah, talks about obeying the law, it's the book of Deuteronomy. So now when you go over the story of Jesus and Satan, which is an exact same pattern match with Moses, chapter 1 of Moses and Satan. Joseph was brilliant, and you don't see it because you turned it all literal history. I am in the similitude. Yeah. And I don't think you'll find Deuteronomy 18:15 through 19 there. You might, as long as they want you to believe it's Jesus, but we're not going to look it up. We're already at 40 minutes. Oh, crap. So yes, Satan quotes the Psalms of David. Jesus responds with the law. Because he's saying, hey, King David said this. Do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Jesus throws back the law. So that's exactly what I've done to you, Mormons. OAKS said this, and I throw the Book of Mormon on section 107 at you. And you run away. You're mean. You're denying us our religious freedom. So verse 40, the literal descent of King David, has the birthright and blessing, section 76, to claim the head of the church, just like the presiding bishop, descendant of Aaron. So here I am. I'm a literal descendant, because those 18th Egyptian dynasty, David Moseses and Ammons of Salem, with Mosiah as the founder, that's my line. Genealogy, we have done it, our genealogy. It's just, everybody assumes the Christianizing version, and the kings of Europe trusted in the literal history of Constantine, and so the kings of the Jews that are legitimate, they then take it and go back to King David of the Bible, not knowing that it's the 18th dynasty. David Moses III, for example, is the one who went to push back the Hittites, did a flanking maneuver to part the mountains of Armageddon. In the midst of the war of Armageddon, he went on vacation to go visit his family on Mount Salem, putting his foot on the mountain. This was 1450 BCE. Thereafter, all of the kings of Salem are titled Solomon, for which they then would build the Temple of Solomon with his palace. So, to secure the bloodline, gets a little creepy, but sisters. And so he gets a family member from Salem, whether she is taken back to Egypt to be raised up in Egypt. That's most likely the case. That's the traditional pattern of the Egyptians. He would have been raised up in the northern kingdom of Heliopolis rather than Karnak, because he's not of the first wife. And so thus Moses, if you know the Ten Commandments, or Christian Bale, is it? Or the Prince of Egypt cartoon. Yeah, there's a brother. He's of the first wife. Christians don't want to acknowledge that Pharaoh would have impregnated the other wife. So lots of things got screwed up. So yes, I am the blood of kings. The 18th Egyptian dynasty. So when Joseph Smith tells you that they go all the way back to Adam, yes, they do. It's just not Adam of literal history. So, it is my birthright, my blessing. So, the keys of Moses, therefore, to lead the church. Duh. It's the Jewish Christ. That scares you, because, oh no, that's not Jesus. Jews, they're wrong. Aren't they Christian? No. Notice it's also not Peter, James, and John. That's for the 12 who are supposed to preach the word of the head of the church and the Book of Mormon, and nobody else. They're not supposed to make stuff up. They're not supposed to lie. The keys of the 12 apostles of Peter, James, and John is to parrot, quote, plagiarize the words of the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith. And Brigham Young couldn't even do that right. You got the story in the Book of Mormon of Alma, of the 12 apostles of King Noah, who decides to have honor and integrity. I don't think we should kill this guy. And they chase him out, want to murder him. So then he does Waters of Mormon stuff, teaching the people the words of Abinadi. Well, he's not the head of the church, King Noah is. Moses wasn't the head of the church either, Pharaoh was. Jesus wasn't even the head of the church, Caiaphas was. I mean, that's a little trickier, but you should have caught on that these prophets are not the head of the church. Lehi, not the head of the church. Jeremiah would have been, if you're going to call it literal history. And yet, Lehi, oh, look at this. He's now a seer. Oh, he's a prophet. Oh, he's a revelator with calendar dates and clock times. And he's a translator. And oh, he takes his household in an exodus to the promised land. Similitudes, Mormons, similitudes. Getting very cranky. It's late at night. Very frustrated with Mormons who don't want to believe, don't want to get me to Zion, because I can't go on my own. And so verse 22 or 92, Only him is a seer, prophet, revelator, and translator. So that's who you're supposed to be looking for. Because Joseph Smith tells you you're supposed to be looking for him. Section 103 didn't even make it in the 1834 or 1835 Doctrine and Covenants. And I don't understand why, because this was revelation. It's not a letter like Section 85 was. Same guy. But nonetheless, we got it now. So, 15 to 18. Behold, I say unto you, the redemption of Zion must needs come by power. Therefore I will raise up unto my people a man who shall lead them like as Moses. How hard is that to understand? A Mormon in the future, not Joseph Smith, is going to lead them like Moses did. How did Moses lead them? Confronts Pharaoh in Pharaoh's court, and Pharaoh says, no, I'm not going to let Mormons go, because you're being held in bondage. For you, the children of Israel and the seed of Abraham, and must needs be led out of bondage. So you're in the wrong church. And one of your people is going to rise up and say, let my people go. And the leader of the church will say, no. And so he demonstrates his authority. He demonstrates he's got the gifts and powers of God. He parts the waters at the Green River overpass at the I-70. Twice. God. They ran a test run in 2020. All because they're afraid of me. Because like I said, they know who I am. They get the reports. They are deeply afraid of me. Deeply panicked. And they still don't get it. It ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna murder me. As much as I've given you the opportunity to do so. If this is all gonna be in vain and Mormons are gonna be utterly destroyed because they don't want to believe and listen, what's the point? Dear God. So yeah, I made it very clear who I am for Mormons. I let OAKS know in advance. Had a dream. It's begun. Oh, here's another dream. And another. 2 sets of 4 dreams, OAKS. Going over the scriptures that tie with it. Letting you know about your birthday, and it's going to be huge. Now watch the gifts and powers of God, OAKS. And they were far beyond what I even thought. It always is. And I should know better. I should know better. But this is how you judge me by my fruits. The results, not your feelings. What the hell is wrong with you guys? So say we all. So yeah, I told you about the hip. It's going to set off the metal detector, didn't I? Did he forget? Did he not think of that? Did he not care? Is he that panicked and afraid that he's fleeing for his life? And it's also because I brought up 19 July 1840 in the context of the parable of Joseph Smith in section 101. Because they don't know their scriptures. They rely on me to tell them. Joseph Smith's 1840 is an expansion commentary on verse 51. The enemy came by night. Ooh, it's nighttime now. It'll be nighttime tomorrow night at 10:01 p.m. I am going to laugh hysterically if it's 10:01, Oaks. And if Mormons still don't catch it, Monson, then Nelson, and then you? There is no hope for Mormons after that. Because in the picture that you saw for the thumbnail, there's some bigger stuff coming. At 6 p.m. starting tomorrow. I see what's going on. Dear God. I tried to warn you. I don't memorize. I have to do the research. Want to go to bed. And the enemy came by night, broke down the hedge. Servants of the nobleman arose and were affrighted and fled. Prophecy fulfilled, Oaks. And the enemy destroyed their works and broke down the olive trees. Yeah, it's been fulfilled. Not in the way that people would immediately interpret it, but that's the whole point. Is that when you have an apple seed, you don't know what an apple looks like. If you just receive a seed for the first time in your life and you're being told, hey, if you plant this in the ground, you water and give it sunlight, and it'll sprout, and then it'll eventually produce a tree and branch off, and then we'll produce apples. And they'll be the red kind or the green kind. And when they're fully ripened, you can take them off and eat them. You can make pies or applesauce or apple juice or apple cider. A whole bunch of stuff you can do with them. And then you have seeds within it that'll look exactly like the seed that I gave you. And you may know that this is an apple seed. Designed with the blueprints to produce after its kind. And so the feelings are like the Book of Mormon tells you, Mormons. You've got to follow the word of God line upon line, precept upon precept, until you produce the results at the tree of life with the fruit. And then you partake of the fruit and, oh, yay, feelings. You know, like the feelings I had today. Not like the feelings I have now, because I'm grumpy and want to go to bed. I have nobody to go to bed with. So, this is what they're afraid of, and in their panic of my powers, they fulfilled prophecy. Because they don't memorize, and they don't remember, they don't have visionary memory like I do. So they forgot about this, I guess. Or the person who was required to give a report forgot to put it in his report. Despite my having gone over this all this decade. Since I first found the Joseph Smith papers. Oh my hell. But I already knew all the information prior to. That's the one amazing thing. How to design, build, and run Zion? Yeah, that was back in 2008 because of their boo-boo. Thinking they were gonna murder me and erase me from history. So it's been a long latter days. So today's morning video. Happy birthday, Mr. Prez. I got Devin. I forgot to put I love you, Dad, or something like that. It's actually I love you in words, I think, if I remember correctly. Thanks for today, Devin. It was too quick, and so the camera blurred it slightly, but yeah, I caught it. And she's awesome. I like Devin. But again, I do these pictures for a reason. If you don't understand why OAKS is in the food cart with a presidential seal that says Zion and Salt Lake Temple instead of the eagle, and Suarez with the Brazil flag and the Turkish delight on top. You've never seen The Simpsons, have you? You have to watch. You can't listen to The Simpsons as a podcast. It just can't be for radio. Oh my God. So, yep. The two big ones that I've been telling you about the whole time. Made the birdie pictures, repeated it frequently, so that you guys are aware of it in advance. See, the news never told you that that's the location in space where the eclipse took place. I did. Now, if you asked an astronomer, they would say, oh, well, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, it's at the mouth of Leo. And the Perseus, well, yeah, that would be at the mouth of Perseus. But that's as far as their knowledge goes. I have Joseph Smith, who taught me. From the Joseph Smith translation, Revelation chapter 12, verses 1 and 7. Technically 8 for the villain of the stories. But 1 and 7 covers seer, prophet, revelator, and translator is understood because it's English, not the original language. And the original language, which was Greek, we were told in 16 verse 16 that it was Hebrew. So if there are errors in Greek, it's because they mistranslated it from the Hebrew. Nonetheless, so yeah, there was a Christian influence because of 75 years after Christianity was started, that first creed. The Septuagint and Latin Vulgates were created, taking scriptures that were approved by them from the first creed into their collection. And there was collections within collections, like the book of Matthew, for example, and even the book of Revelation. The gospel part, the tale of the God, the vision about Jesus, that's a separate book, and it contains multiple books within that even. And then Matthew 24 and 25, that's what's called the Apocalypse of Matthew. And that's a completely separate book. And so all of the names of the apostles, or the other authors who were not apostles, all had a tale of the God as well as an apocalypse. And they weren't all Jesus. Because that's why Perseus also flew on the back of a white horse from outer space. Chapter 19 of Revelation. I assume there's a level of intelligence in you about scriptures, because I know Christians know it. Rapture Palooza, but that was rated R, so you obviously don't know it. You can get a better boyfriend than that, Anna. Murders Jesus. So yeah, with the number 47 times 2, it's 94. How old is OAKS? 94. But why would I put 47? You have to watch the other video content. It's an Illuminati number. Oh, this, Devin, is probably my greatest masterpiece. Greatest masterpiece ever. Oh my hell, Oaks. All you have to do is sign it. And it may be too late now, but you can still sign it. I don't know, maybe you'll get a reprieve. But things are already set in motion because of your actions, or shall we say inaction. Dear God. The one guy who could spare your life tried to spare your life, not just by warning you, and you wouldn't get warned. So, remember the 2 sets of 4 that I talked about earlier in this video? I expect a level of intelligence from you. Number 2 and number 2 was about the number 6. Oaks claims he's number 18. 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Benson changed the time periods of the Relief Society presidency. So that now is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Again, it's one thing to not catch it with 18, independent of all the other 666s around here, and the inverted pentagrams of Mr. 666, and loving Satan, and the pure doctrine of Satan. But my hell, Mormons. So, number 6. I was going, oh, yeah. Friday, which technically for the Jewish calendar is tomorrow at 6 p.m. And it's the 6th month. And why do we have day 6? Because it's not day 6. Oh, yeah, Friday. Which, yeah. Day 6. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6. And Saturday, Sabbath day for the Jews. 6 p.m., 6th month, 6th day. 666. On the Jewish calendar. So, pan over to our calendar. 2026. Ooh, 13 plus 13. 13 times 2. And I underlined 13 for you. So you look down. Ooh, Friday the 13th. Oh, I mean Thursday the 13th. Do you know about that? The Knights Templar? Friday the 13th? It's actually on a Thursday in the Julian calendar. Knights Templar. York Rites Freemasonry. Joseph Smith Sr. Canandaigua Lodge. Ontario number 23. Canandaigua, New York. William Morgan. The Book of Mormon. 9/11. 1826. 13 times 2. This is the bicentennial year of this. And, oh crap, it's coming up, isn't it? Oh, Sunday. Or no, wait a minute. 9/11/1826. So, yeah, September, because the Pope screwed it up. Septem, Octem, Novem, Decem is 7, 8, 9, 10. So, yes, September 11th, Friday. Oh, God. Right before the new year of the Jews. Oh my God. So yes, that's a month away. I know I'm going to forget. I want to be well underway with Zion by then. So I have to do the video. So yes, that's why I did the picture of the second vision for you. It's all about the Knights Templar. It's literal history. It means Joseph is a witch. If you don't even care, why are you just leave Joseph Smith alone? God. Okay, so I covered that at the top, I covered that at the bottom. So 666 and 42 for birthday. Devin Masciuli. I spelled it wrong in my files. Sorry. I checked and made sure to get the right spelling. So unless KSL botched the spelling, it's not my fault then. And you do know they were trying to recruit you to marry you off and have babies for OAKS. So, yep. Oh, just pink. Could you be any more perfect? Sorry, Sarah. You had your opportunity. But yeah, everybody's got a chance with me. I'm just too old. Nobody cares. Bad. So I put the scripture list in there to remind you, and hopefully I'll remember to put the other picture in one last time before it goes into the archives of the latter days signs in heavens. But today was massive. Just incredibly intense. So yes, the obvious one, solar eclipse in Leo. And what are those shapes, Travis? Stop. It's Paleo-Hebrew. So yes, 7 only gets designated down in the last one. Otherwise, well, the stake in the ward that got closed is technically number 8, and I could break them up to add more numbers, but what she had in the picture was perfect. And I hope I remember to put at least the one other one. I think there was 2 of them that I also want to use straight as they were, Devin. We'll see. Does your dad or your mom like Billy Idol? I was reminded of that the other day when I used that in the theme song in the description below. Did they tell you? Is that a confession of when they conceived you? I don't know, I'm just asking questions. Trying to get to know you better. So, solar eclipse in Leo. Oh, it's underlined. Wonder why I would have it underlined. I see down further, I see lion underlined. Wonder if there's a pattern match connection. And then the Perseid meteor showers. Again, I had to add that to the picture previously. And then Babylon, other fires. But Babylon is the big one because that ties to section 64 verses 22 and 24, the prophecy. Babylon's going to burn. Hey, it's literally burning. So, Moab and 2,000 plus power outages. And I emphasize Moab because of Judges chapter 3 verses 12 to 30. The king of Moab, Eglon. OAKS. Can't miss my video content. You gotta pay attention to all of it. So yes, power outage. Also at Green River, there was like one. I think there's only one person who lives there in the store. But right there at the Green River overpass, I called it out and I got it. That's how it works, Mormons. I have seen many fruits over the years, and I am getting very frustrated, very impatient for these final 4. See, me, yeah, this was all exciting and fun, but in the end, no fruit. Yet. I know it's coming. You can't have all this and then, nope. OAKS lives for another 50 years. Or OAKS dies sometime next year. Irene then takes over, goes for another couple years. Status quo remains. America's still standing. Trump is still president after 2028. I'm just gonna cry. But this, oh my hell, Oaks, Mount Etna exploded today or yesterday now. I tried to warn you because I made a pretty picture of it so that everybody can see, because I'm pretty sure everybody forgot about Nelson and Syracuse Temple. I warned him. He didn't listen. Oh, just like the previous year with Twilla. How many more proofs do you need from me, guys? Oaks? What the hell? You think you're just gonna run away? Think you're gonna get away with it? Are you not paying attention in the news? Again, today, another plane crashes or helicopter collisions. Everybody's got AI, and AI is causing collisions. It's projecting. That's why Trump was freaked out about his Air Force One and the food cart truck. But this, no, I cannot cause Mount Etna to erupt. And yet I did. That's the power of a seer, Mormons. And then the other one, I was dancing in my chair. In my chair. I couldn't believe it. And yet, I could. Severe storm and flooding at Nauvoo. See, the news advertised it as the state park. It's right there in Nauvoo. You can see on the map Heber and Violet's house. That's where the church has the visitor center. And for Oaks' birthday, a severe storm with flooding. And the news didn't report Nauvoo. It said in northern Illinois and others in that location. And so I went, hey, wait a minute. Let's check. Nauvoo. Yep. In the government's listing for the state. Yep. Way down at the bottom. But I've got it. I need to make it into a pretty picture to put it in. Oh my, now that I remember. I hope I get everything in for you guys. I've still got yesterday's pictures that are not filed. Oh my God. And so bear and mountain were spotted today as well. The mountain lion. Lion. With Leo. Not the cougar. A bear and a lion. Yeah. So if you're wondering about the bear, that's Elishua. Baldy, Baldy. 3 kids. Or however many kids. Could have been 3. They get mauled by the bear. Because they're mocking the prophet. You gonna mock still, Mormons? Because I know Devin's cooperating. Just that's it with that. And to finish it off, I checked for tomorrow. And yep, the moon is there at Regulus. The sun is still there at the mouth. The transfer of authority tomorrow, whether OAKS likes it or not, apparently. And maybe this is just a sign for what's to come. But at 6 p.m., this is at 3 in the morning, 3:38:27. So it's notifying you of what's going to happen that day. And then moved it closer, so that's a little bit better of a picture. Yeah, that one's a grayish moon. This other one is a black moon. Still dark. So yeah, technically it's 3 days of darkness. Idaho check. 3 days of darkness. Idaho check. Are you listening? Will you be able to listen? 3 days of darkness. Idaho check. The 11th, the 12th, the 13th. Because the moon is new on the 12th, and so the 11th and the 13th are so close to the new moon, 3 days of darkness. And then the full picture for tomorrow. So yeah, I am including the falling stars in Aquarius, because that's a conjunction in and of themselves, especially after having the peak not too long ago. Apparently it's still in play, because that's the high priest symbol. Falling high priest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we had to switch off yesterday morning, or this morning, or yesterday morning now. I noticed that when I first got on, there was the solar, or the falling stars there at the bottom of the waters. And then when I clicked to go ahead to get it positioned just right, it disappeared, and the northern Aquariids appeared in its place. And so, 10:01, I got it. The big picture, just in case. Just in case. So, yep, the moon is at the hind legs. Jupiter and Mercury are getting closer together for the 18th or 19th. Mars still at the ankle. Saturn is still there at the tail, but it's moving. It's chugging along as slow as it is. Right, Uchtdorf? But yeah, the moon being on the shoulders, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. Transfer of authority. Or Venus is at the shoulders, actually. The moon, yeah. Venus is at the shoulders. So the church at the shoulders of the church. The woman is the church. Joseph Smith translation, Revelation chapter 12. So the head of the church, Mormons. Who's the head of the church? Government shall be upon his shoulders. Isaiah, Jesus. He's also the warrior king Joshua. Talking about Emmanuel. Emmanuel is the sun god at noonday. The moon, for religion, is crowned. Are you afraid yet, Oaks? Or are you gonna wait till 10:01 p.m. for... I don't know. I'm not in charge of this. I only get visions. It's not my fault. But it will be hilarious. So, that's it. That's all. Good night. Sleep tight until the day is done. They don't even have the album collection on YouTube for that song. It comes in a play or an album, and it's wonderful waltzes and polkas. I had to look up what the album titles were, and that's where it comes from. So it's just, they only have the individual videos on YouTube. Dear God, Oaks. So yeah, I think that's it. There's the pictures of the severe thunderstorm. So I'm gonna do some cutting and pasting for that. That's it. So yeah, Oaks signs over the church to me. Obviously, we can't use that as the title because nobody will come and watch the video, except for the church service missionaries and the Strengthening Church Members Committee. Congo was also flooded. Oh dear God. Yep, where all of our new members are, who now have Ebola virus, now got flooded. And Oaks isn't even taking care of his new members that gave him the numbers. Yay, record-breaking numbers of the membership. All in Congo. And you're letting them die. And see, for the regular Mormon, they don't understand. Well, don't you want to protect them? You gotta keep the numbers up. You gotta retain them. We need to save them. You know, that's where you get Tim Ballards. You gotta save these girls who are being kidnapped by Epstein to the Zorro Ranch. He didn't know, apparently. But still, he doesn't see the bigger picture. That the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is working with people to sex traffic the girls in Utah. Mormon girls. Not just babies born to the rape victims of Mormon girls. They shut down their adoption agency in 2014. This church is just evil to an extent that scared me, and it's far beyond that. Because as a child, my white supremacist Christian nationalist peers literally scared me. What they were talking about was evil. I wanted nothing to do with them. And here, you know, Mormons are evil. And yeah, it's a greater evil than my peers, childhood peers. But the leadership. That's why I did the King Noah video. What about this? What's this one? This is, yeah. the news about Nauvoo. So yeah, those are just pictures going straight in. I'm not gonna. It's 1:20. So yeah, by the time I get this video up and going, I can go running. About 7 a.m. the rain might be picking up. It just depends. AI weather now sucks. Can't count on it, but it's coming. There was a slight thing earlier in the video that I pointed out to you guys. Alright, so I think this is the only one that I gotta make before putting it in the video. The rest I can put in the video. Alright, Oaks. Last call for the alcohol that you were drinking today, or Monday. That would be hilarious. Yeah, that would be hilarious. I hope you don't get explosive diarrhea from the strawberries. I'm sure they're probably from your garden or your siblings or your children's gardens. Nonetheless, I don't understand Mormons who want to be burned and destroyed and ruined financially when I've got the plans for Zion. I've got the pretty pictures. I guess I don't. Did I put them somewhere? Tell me I didn't delete them. I guess I did, so I can bring that up again too. And I shouldn't have gotten off of the page because I need to make sure I get these. So, alright, we're done. I'm just rambling now, wanting to crash.